Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back. It is Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, whatever you're listening or watching to us on, please like and subscribe to whatever it is. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I don't even know anymore. But just make sure you're liking and subscribing us, because then you get all the updates when we release new episodes. And please just like and share anything we post. It really helps getting that interaction from you guys. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Chad, how has your week been?
Damn good.
Damn good. You're
Yes.
going to go damn good on them.
I am, man, because I'm psyched. We finally got most of this house set up. We're feeling good about it. It's chill. We had a good weekend, man. We went to a buddy's birthday celebration, kind of downtown around Cap Hill area. Good buddy KC. Shout out to you, buddy. Yeah. And when we Sunday grilled out and played some cornhole here. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's good.
Yeah, what about you? How was your weekend?
Mine was pretty good. Just kind of watched a lot of sports. Watched the Masters. At one point, I think on Saturday, I was watching the Rockies and the Avalanche and the Nuggets, I think. Wasn't that the last game?
No shit. Well, how'd you do that? Laptop, TV, phone?
Phone, yeah.
I dig that, man.
I was like, you're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I got to get it done.
It's nice.
Get it in.
We absorb this content to get out to our listeners, so it's beneficial. I was telling
that's
you.
the thing. It's always nice to have all this influx of information.
Yep. Saturday night, I had the fights on the TV, and then on my phone watching the Avs game, and
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah, other than that, though, we went to my parents for the family Easter thing. I mean, we're not really celebrating Easter for Easter. It's just a reason.
It's a family time to get together. Yep.
So, yeah, we were doing that. Yesterday, I went and saw our buddy Zane.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He doing a little bit of trade work. I put some new signs on the podcast on their tattoo studio door.
Sweet.
And then he caused me a lot of pain yesterday.
What did he do to you?
We did some work on a piece he did on my leg a long time ago, just finishing up some little highlights and shit.
Covered up by your pants?
Covered up by my pants.
All right.
And then I had some shit on my back I really wanted to get covered up, and we didn't know what to do, so we literally just started blacking out the whole top of
Are you
my
serious?
back.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so for an hour and a half, he just blacked out my back.
Oh, man, I've heard that is painful.
Yeah, but it's going to be pretty cool, because now we can do a white tattoo over it.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some shit
plan.
like that. That's cool.
Do it pretty cool.
I've been wanting to get my spider web covered up for a while. I'm kind of over that, for the past.
Nah, dude, leave it.
Yeah. I gotta show people I was in prison.
Yeah.
Not really.
No, my bad tattoo was a banner that said unlucky. I was starting to feel like maybe it's just a bad omen to have that on me, so
Yep.
gonna get that covered up. And then I also, when I was 18, my first tattoo, I don't know if you remember the company SRH.
No.
Stoners Wreaking Havoc.
No, I've never heard of it.
I know you've heard of the Cottonmouth Kings, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this was their clothing brand, and that was my first tattoo. It's a oval with a fucking spade in it.
Oh, that's what that's from. Yeah, I totally know what that. Yeah, I remember that.
That was my first tattoo.
Wow.
And then, so I basically got my first 2 tattoos covered up yesterday.
Yep.
And we have a little bit.
It's part of it, man. I feel like when you get a tattoo, everybody's like, "What if you have that on for the rest of your life?" I'm like,
the cool thing
I'll
I
get
was
it covered
thinking
up.
about, dude, I've basically given myself a chalkboard on my back now, because if I don't like what we did in the white, just fucking go over it again and do something over the top of it.
It's not
Yeah.
permanent.
No, technically not.
Not at all. Definitely not, man.
And fuck getting laser, dude. That shit sucks.
Yeah, I know. You went through that for a while, didn't you?
Got 8 sessions of that shit, and it fucking hurts.
Yeah, I think he said that hurt worse than the actual tattoos, right?
Yeah, it did. It feels like rubber band snaps, just over and over,
Fuck that.
It's not fun. But
Yeah, Zane's a good dude, though, man. He did this piece right here, obviously, I'm really pleased with it.
yeah, Zane's fucking cool. I used to work with him at the tattoo shop I used to manage, and then now he owns his own tattoo shop, Ogden Tattoo, which is down off Colfax and Ogden, literally across the street from the Ogden Theater.
Very talented, very talented.
Yeah, and they got a bunch of super talented people working there, so if you are ever in the area, go check out Ogden Tattoo, see my buddy Zane, and get yourself some ink. You know how we do.
Yep. So,
yeah, now we're here.
should we take a shot, Mr. Ray?
I guess we could take a shot.
We got the playing games going. We got good entertainment tonight. This podcast studio just keeps getting leveled up. Last night I mounted a TV, and Eventually, this place will look like somewhat of a quasi bar.
Yeah, we got some things to fix.
I want to put a mini fridge right here too.
A mini fridge would be nice.
Yep.
We need to fix these holes behind Chad up over here.
I'm gonna hang
They're
something
more
there.
noticeable than I thought they were going to be in the
Yeah.
video. But, yeah, we're going to put a bunch of posters over
You
there,
can see
right?
that in the video, and it shows it from you. I did not notice that.
Yeah, you can see it up there.
I'll get a tri poster covering that because I've got a bunch of artwork over here I was gonna put up.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of shit going on the wall over there. We're going to need to get rid of the blinds behind me with the cool curtain. So it's just a slow process because we both work a bunch and obviously have lives that cost a lot of money.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll do this full time.
That's the plan. That's what we're shooting for, and we need your help to get it done. And
Also
on that
yours,
note,
Buffalo Trace.
yes,
Send
Buffalo
us
Trace.
some money so we can keep promoting
Let's
your
do
whiskey.
this damn thing. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers to episode 30.
30, dude.
Yep.
We're fucking making it.
We
We're
are.
over halfway to a year.
Trenta.
Oh, you're right. It is
Go
a
to
little bit
absolute.
better chilled. I'll give you that. Little bit better chilled.
cannot believe
Not much, but a little bit.
Well, like I was telling her, I've never had like a shot from this, and I'm like, ooh, like wincing. Every shot I've had from Buffalo Trace so
I
far
think
is
last
delicious.
week we definitely both winced on.
It was that
multiple
first one
shots.
for sure, but it's not too bad. I dig it.
Yeah.
Well, should we? I did tell him 5:40. Look at this time,
Dude,
man.
we are
Adam's gonna be pleased.
cruising.
So, the Masters was Sunday, and we have our correspondent golf expert that
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
have
get on the
correspondence,
line.
people. Correspondence.
He's official. You got to go to his Instagram. He's got a lot of followers. He really knows his shit.
Yeah,
Got a
and-
good feed.
And of course, most people watch the Masters over the weekend because that's what the hell you do on Masters weekend.
On
You
Easter
tune
weekend,
in
you got to.
with Jim Nance, and you get your hello friends, and then you listen to some people quietly discuss golf while people play a really tough game.
I kind of want him just to like read somewhat of like, I don't know, I want to listen to him and fall asleep. He's got such a soothing voice, man.
Yeah.
I just think he is meant for television. He's legendary, obviously.
Yeah, he's
but
called everything. This is the last time calling the Final
I
Four,
know,
which
yeah,
is-
that was kind of a sad thing. But
Yeah.
like I was, working in that guest bedroom, get that bed set up, and just listen to the Masters, and I just got to thinking, I'm like, this is great. I could listen to him all day.
Yeah, you really can. And if you listen too much, you might fall asleep because it's so soothing.
It is, yeah. A lot of people. I remember
rocks
I
you to
was
sleep like a baby.
talking to some coworkers about it, like, because he was like, I don't know if I'll be able to watch one of the Smashes. We got family stuff going on, but it'll be on. I was like, man, that's what I remember from childhood is like all my uncles being in recliners, passed out while everybody's eating and
Yeah.
stuff, and the golf's on the
It's
TV.
exactly what happens on Thanksgiving too. I mean, everybody eats a shitload of turkey, and then you all sit down and watch that afternoon or night game, depending on when you do Thanksgiving. Everybody's different. We do afternoon, so
Yeah.
we're watching that afternoon game, and then everybody just fucking passes out and watches
It's a trademark.
people sleep and watch football. So,
That's how you know your real family
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Well, should we go ahead and get him on the line?
Let's get him on the line. Let's see if I'm not going to say her name because every time I speak to her, she actually listens.
Listen,
and
she's
just-
mine, all right? You
and
stay
she's
away
Chad,
from mine.
So
Don't be speaking to her.
I can't. Just start listening.
All right, let's get him on the line. Hey, Alexa, call Shinetime.
Calling Shinetime.
Woo!
I think it's working. Let's see how it works. Oh, let me get this a little closer.
Yeah,
Can
bring
you
her, bring her
scoot
on
the
in.
extension cord just a little bit closer if you don't mind? There we go. Yeah, you're good. The orb of voices. I hope you...
Yo,
Adam, what's up, man?
what's up? How we doing?
We're
Doing good. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Am I live? We doing it live?
We're live right now. You are on.
What's up?
It's not technically live. It's not like we're streaming, but we're recording right now.
Yeah, we don't ever really edit what we say, so it's technically live. It's candid
Yeah.
for sure, but the episode will be coming out here soon. So,
Sounds good enough. No, I am. I'm glad to hear from you guys. Happy to jump into it. We can small talk. We can do whatever we want. But I'm ready to rock and go. Ready to rock and roll. Ready to go.
We're all right there with you. I'm exhausted today, and I don't know if we're gonna make it through this show, but damn it, we're gonna try.
we're going to make it
Yeah,
through.
I need my shot.
That's what I was about
We
to
just-
ask.
We just took one, so we're one above you.
All right. Well, I can pour and talk. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. What are you pouring tonight? Some more.
Oh, I got the same Evan Williams.
Very cool. Very cool.
Not the green label. You guys grilled me on that last night.
I'm happy you weren't drinking the green label, because the green label is not something to be proud about drinking.
Yeah.
Hey, we've been sipping on this Buffalo Trace, man. You're gonna have to try to snag some of this. This is some shit here.
Have you guys ever done the Buffalo Trace Challenge on the golf courses here?
No, we have not.
What?
You play 36 holes, 18 holes of Buffalo Run out in what's it called, Commerce City.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's like
like
2
right
minutes
by
from my
Chad's
house.
house, yeah.
That's seriously right next to me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you do Buffalo Run followed by Fossil Trace and just drink as much Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool.
You do like an early tea time, and then you get the afternoon tea time and hit them both.
Absolutely.
That sounds
I
fun.
made that competition up. I haven't done it yet.
Well,
but
I'll tell you this much: it sounded legit. So I was like, "This is. I've never heard of this."
I thought it was totally a thing, man.
I made it up as soon as I played Buffalo Run and called it Buffalo Trace.
Oh yeah,
That's cool. It's funny you say that because Perry and Casey and those guys on Saturday went to Fossil Trace. So I'm gonna have to talk. They, every time I see them, they always try talking me into golfing. So I'll have to talk them into coming up here to Buffalo Run, and I'll go over there and try to make a fool out of myself.
Absolutely, Buffalo Trace with the boys. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Well, Adam, I'm dying to know, man. What are your thoughts on the Masters? What a performance by Rahm.
Dude, what a performance by Rahm. I got so, so doing a recap for work, I was so excited to write about it, there's so many storylines. I honestly, there's too many to count, right? So
there really is.
I'll just list off a bunch, and we can talk about anyone we want.
Sounds good.
Okay.
The weather.
Yes, I want to. Yeah.
So the weather, two delays, including the tree falling.
Oh wow!
You didn't hear about
Yeah, I
that?
didn't
Two
know
trees
about
fell
that.
and almost hit spectators.
Holy shit!
Then there's Tiger making the cut and then limping off. There's also Freddie Couples, who doesn't love an old guy at 63 keeping up with everybody else.
He was
Oldest person ever
the
made
oldest,
the
right?
cut.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. And then a young guy from Texas, right?
Sam Bennett,
What?
Yeah, the young guy from
Yeah,
Texas A&M.
Sam the Am.
Bennett, Phil, Koepka, and Rahm. I do want to start off by talking about, and we'll talk about Rahm versus Koepka in a bit, but I do want to point out, I think one of the storylines that I think got snuck under the rug a little too briskly was Rory missing the cut.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
Hold on,
for sure.
that is definitely something I wanted to bring up because I just made a little small bet with the guy at work. I'm like, hey, simple bet with the Masters. You pick a golfer, I'll pick a golfer. Whoever wins gets $10. Because I made the bet with him and proposed it, I gave him the first pick. And
He took Rory.
he took, so he took Scotty Scheffler, obviously.
Good choice.
But if he was going to take Roy, which is a good pick, everybody thought that was a good, one of the favorites. I was going to take Brooks Koepka. Swear to God, dude. I was because I really thought with him coming into Live, from Live, he was going to make a statement. And he did make a big one. But, dude, I really, so I went with Roy, and then he fucking missed the cut, and I lost the bet. So fuck Roy, man.
Damn you, Rory.
Oh, my God.
So lame. I should have went with Brooks.
Brutal. It's tough, man. Look, should have gone with Brooks. I think Rory was tied, I believe. Yes, Rory was tied with Scotty Scheffler for the odds-on favorite to win. He came in second last year with that amazing 8-under final round.
Yeah,
He
but I
had that
remember
crazy
that.
chip in out of the bunker, too.
Yep. And he also just needs one Masters to complete the Grand Slam, the career Grand Slam. So to not even make the cut was just very, very it almost seemed like a choke.
It did.
I don't know
That's the best
I
word
don't know
for
what-
it, man. It really is because
Yeah, Yeah.
It's just sorry to interrupt, but I want to say that like there's a lot of pressure on him because he's quote unquote the face of the PGA Tour now, and with all these guys from LIV coming in to be able to golf at the Masters, you know, with him being the face, you would think he'd want to show out, and he clearly dropped the ball. Not in the hole.
No, yeah, not dropped it in the hole. That's for sure.
Dropped the ball in the hole. That is actually accurate.
Yeah. So back to Tiger. Do you think the weather had a lot to do with him having to pull out, and you know, with the injury really affecting him?
Yeah, I think the weather hurt. The weather was also like a very, I don't know. Like sometimes these are like convenient. Like he withdrew last year. Like does he have 4 rounds of the Masters in him ever again?
That's what I wanted to. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you was like, what do you think his actual what do you think he can do from here? Because at this point, I'm beginning to think Tiger will not win another major, and I don't know. I mean, he might win a couple more tournaments, but I don't know if he's gonna ever get close to winning a major again.
Well, I got to look into this because I don't know if this is his ego getting involved, but we have seen people use carts. John, your guy's boy,
John Daly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cart. Also, famously, Casey Martin went to the Supreme Court because he had like a dysmorphic leg. Now his leg got amputated now, but this guy Casey Martin made it on the PGA Tour and had a severe disability. He won the case. He got it. He was able to ride around in a golf cart. I don't think Tiger can do it walking these courses that have just huge undulations. The weather probably exacerbated the injury, but I think it was
walking
inevitable.
on soft grass. Yeah.
I think it was just gonna happen regardless. That's so much, dude. That's like walking 8 miles, like 6 to 8 miles, like for 4 straight days with elevation gains and drops of like 80 feet, 100 feet. I mean, it's
crazy.
It doesn't look that daunting on TV in terms of like the angles, the ebbs and flows of the actual courses, but it takes a toll on your body. I don't see him winning another major without some assistance.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's just like just ride between the holes, you know. Save yourself that little bit of extra walking hole to hole. If it's your ego and you don't want to walk or you don't want to cart the whole thing, that's fine. I get it, but man, to have it, you can just see him literally get tired as he's walking. Like you just see him just starting to just fade and fade and fade, and you feel bad for him because I mean it was because of a car accident. It's not like it's not like anything it was kind of his fault, but I mean it sucks to see one of the best kind of fading like this.
It's sad. Anytime he makes a cut, it's like a victory.
It's a victory for the PGA too, because you know the ratings are gonna like probably go up by 25% if Tiger's made the cut.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that high, but it's definitely.
I just threw a number out, so I made something up. So
definitely piques people's interest. You know, Vegas probably makes a lot more money on sentimental bets.
Yeah,
you know, all these $5 and $10 bets for Tiger. Those things all add up.
No, for sure.
You know, Vegas gets to collect them. I mean, yeah. It's unfortunately when Tiger withdraws, you don't get your money back. But
no,
right?
It's a bummer.
What can you do?
So let's get up to another huge story. Mr. Phil Mickelson at 52, shooting the best final round at the Masters in his career. Crazy, right? Yeah, I was super impressed with that, man. It looks like he's lost weight too. You guys notice this? He did look a little skinny.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's in the best shape of his life. I mean, he looked this svelte when he won the PGA Championship at AKUA a couple of years ago. But he was just lighting it up on the back nine. It's funny because he and Spieth were both feeding off of each other. Spieth was paired with Mickelson, and I think Spieth had 9 birdies, something insane like that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, old man Phil. I mean, he's 52 years old, keeping up. The putts on 17 and 18. It's just, I mean, that birdie at 18, the fact that he had he went into the locker room with the lead of all the people that had finished playing.
Yeah.
In other words, Rahm collapsed, he would have won. I mean, that is insane. And just seeing the significance of the swing between Spieth and Mickelson, Spieth bogeying and Mickelson birdieing, so that they flip-flop spots and Phil goes in the clubhouse with the lead. I mean, that was awesome. And just, he knew it. He knew where he stood in the rankings. That fist pump said it all. But, man, were some of his iron shots, within, 3 to 5 feet. It was insane.
Yeah, it's just, when you can hit it that close, you're just setting yourself up, for an easy 2-putt, or one, if you're a PGA golfer, probably a 1-putt. For me, it's probably a 3-putt. But I did want to ask you, you do see with Koepka and Mickelson, basically, and they tie for second, and then 12 out of the 18 live golfers made the 36-hole cut. I think 1 or 2 of the other ones dropped out due to illness or injury. But what do you think this? Yeah, what do you think this does to? I guess just for Liv's argument in terms of we still have really good golfers. I guess that's the end all be all argument for them is we can still compete, but we don't even have TV rights.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Look, I think that was just more of a media narrative. The whole red herring of these guys only played 54 holes.
Yeah.
I think that kind of went by the wayside. I mean, Patrick Reed, before the tournament, said in response to the fact that he only plays 54 holes, will he have the endurance to play 72? Patrick Reed said, you guys are forgetting that I've won the Masters already.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
Nice.
I don't care for him, and I don't think many people do, but he showed up on Sunday. He came rallying back, so he played his best round in the final round. So I think that was kind of analogous to how we should remind ourselves that these live golfers, they are still in great shape. And if anything, maybe a relaxed schedule, is better for their body.
That's a good argument.
I don't know if Phil's shooting a 65 if he's playing, 30 tournaments around versus the live, 12, 13?
Yeah.
But no, I think that was all a red herring. Look, I love the good narrative. I did love the fact that it was Rahm versus Koepka, PGA versus Liv.
I know, that was cool.
That was cool.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it 3 out of the 6 were live golfers? 3 out of the top 6?
Yeah, Mickelson, Koepka, and Reed.
I'm saying they've really played great.
On the other side of things, though, in terms of live golfers, and I guess guys who failed to meet expectations, Cam Smith did not do well this weekend.
No, dude. All right, so I had. He was the one. It was the Cam Cam Young, who finished well. I thought was going to win, and my other guy was Cam Smith. I don't know what happened with Cam Smith, and I felt that there's barely any coverage of him. I don't know what happened. He made the cut, but there was no magic touch to him. There was no repeat of St. Andrews where he just drained everything from within 20 feet. I think it was a very pedestrian round. I don't know necessarily what his deal was. Like I said, you really get the sense that with him, I mean, he's the best putter in the world, or at least top 5. You saw what he did at St. Andrews. He's once had a round where he's got 18 putts in 18 holes.
That's crazy.
He's just
so wild.
But if the flat stick isn't working, then he's gonna finish tied for in the 30s or 40s, whatever he did. So I was very disappointed with him. He finished at par or above par 3 of the last 4 rounds, which is just really unheard of. A guy who, last we checked was supposed to be in the top 10 if he stayed in the world rankings.
Yeah, I did have one other thing I wanted to bring up, or just like ask you your thoughts on it, I guess. Obviously, Rom wins. He's the 4th Spanish champion to win the Masters. He also did this on Ballesteros' 40th anniversary of his second win and his 66th birthday. It's pretty wild all that stuff happened in Rom's win all on the same day.
Yeah. You're talking about all the like numerology that, Yeah. Sevy's birthday was April 9th. He won on April 9th.
Yeah, that was
40.
pretty wild.
Caddy was number 49. Yeah. I love that shit too, man. It is.
It makes for a great story.
Crazy. Loved Jose Maria Olazabal congratulating him. Look, I don't know what I don't think I'll ever understand what it's like to root for a guy representing your country. Like, I don't know if there's a sport that I follow where like an American is the only person, and there's this pride. It's kind of like
other than like the Olympics, I guess.
Every 4 years for like World Cup, but that's it. And so when you have people from Norway rooting for Hovland, and you've got people from Australia rooting for Jason Day and Cam Smith, and then Rahm. I mean, dude, like I bet you there were like parties that night, like in the streets of Madrid or Barcelona, obviously where or wherever Rahm's from, just celebrations, like full on like honking horns, people on the street partying. It's pretty fucking cool to like, I don't know, to represent your country, because he is born and bred like Spain. I don't know if you knew this, but he went to Arizona before ever, like he attended University of Arizona Arizona State, and had never been to the United States before stepping foot on campus. He had never visited the States. He had committed to the campus without ever visiting the campus. But yeah, dude, no, his first time, he is tried and true Spaniard. So it's awesome, man. I think it's really fucking cool that Spain got to celebrate.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because like until I heard, I started looking into John Rahm, I had no idea he was foreign. Like he doesn't have that much of an accent unless you hear him talk for a little while, then you kind of pick it up. But yeah, the guy seems like he's super down to earth. I saw he had that kid there who also had the same disease that he had because he was born with a club foot. I guess
that's yeah, man. That's like, people compare my golf swing to John Rahm, and I didn't have the club foot, but I do have a pronated flat right foot, and I think that's responsible for my Rahm-esque swing.
Yeah.
I do not swing, as fast as he does, unfortunately. But yes, for all those people that have club foot feet, like he's the John Daly of club feet. He's our representative. Also, I think you guys might be interested to know that John Rahm, while he did speak a little bit of English when he moved to the States, he learned like colloquial English through rap.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Nice.
Yeah, Kendrick, Eminem, and he would learn how to use like euphemistic language. He'd use phrases. It didn't like through rap. He was able to like have conversations. Like he used to it's funny. He used to have conversations where like someone would ask him a question in English, and he'd take like 5 seconds to say the answer because his English wasn't good. But funny thing about that is when you learn English through rap, you're gonna learn what the curse words are. And his golf coach punished him with exercise. I believe it was push-ups for every curse word that he said.
Oh shit!
That's all I know, man. Fuck.
Dude, I would be in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, so we both would. Well, all three of us would be if we were under that regimen.
Yeah, and he picked a good party school too at Arizona State. That's like the staple party school.
Yes. I'm sure there was a lot of debauchery there.
Yep.
Yeah. No, he met his wife there. I heard a cool story that he met his wife at a Halloween party, where her outfit, she had like one of the coolest costumes. She was a blind ref. This was the year that there was, replacement ref, like 2012.
Yeah.
And she was a blind ref with a one of those like blind walking sticks.
Couldn't get away with that nowadays.
She would just bump into people with her sunglasses and the stick, and that was their first time meeting, and he loved that.
Sounds like she's got a good sense of humor. That's awesome.
Yes.
One other thing before we move on, I think that's going to probably wrap it up for the Masters, and I have two other things for you. I did see your post today about Fling Golf, and this is the second time that I've seen that. What's your take on it? I mean, your video was kind of basically, pretty informative, but what's your take?
Well, my take is that this might be my most viral video. I mean, this is one of those videos that I have. It's already gotten 41,000 views on TikTok.
Dang.
In a matter of 6 hours.
That's crazy.
Wow.
This is one of those things where, thank God, the algorithm in TikTok is a lot better than the one on Instagram, in the sense that the comment section is what drives virality for TikTok. And the more comments you get, the more people will see it. And the reason why I bring this up is not just to educate your listeners about the algorithm, but
you're educating us too.
Yeah.
It is about how opinionated people are about Fling Golf. So here is my take. I think it looks ridiculous.
It does look ridiculous.
And as someone who plays golf, I know how frustrating the game can be. And, it'll put you into, it's put me, like, I've trapped myself in the closet in the dark after some shitty rounds going, why the hell do I play 100 rounds of this a year without getting better?
Yeah.
And the whole idea for Fling Golf is that it's supposed to take the best qualities of the recreational part of golf, being out in nature, being with friends, drinking,
chasing a
ball
ball
in the 5-6 hours day, but without the stress, and you can still have fun. So I'm saying that I wouldn't be caught red-handed playing, but if you guys wanted to hang with me and you only knew how to play Fling Golf, I would love that. It's just like, I want to spend time with my friends. I know everybody can't play golf, but it's not detracting anything from my game with you guys, flinging the ball, picking it up, flinging it again. It's good for pace of play. I don't have to watch you guys, hit the balls into the street or in the woods. So I'm fine with it, but it looks fucking ridiculous.
It does look so ridiculous, I guess that is probably the only good part of it, is that it is going to kind of open the sport up to a lot more people. But then at the same time, it's like, you're not really playing the sport. It's like bowling with bumpers, like are you really bowling?
Yeah, no, and I equate it to pickleball of tennis, because pickleball is so fun.
I was going to say that, because I hear of tennis players that hate pickleball.
Yeah.
Pickleball is so fun. But I got into it because, sorry, I just took a sip of Evan Williams for the first time, so I got a little excited.
Nice.
Pickleball is so fun, but I used to play tennis. I know that I'm not picking up tennis because I suck at tennis.
Yeah.
And I can't keep up with the skills involved. But I still want to get on the court. I still have a nice forehand. It's, you play it with friends. There's something akin to Fling Golf about it. But I think I read the comments. I've read all the comments. I think a lot of people, what they don't like about Fling Golf is just it's a cop-out for people who suck at golf.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like, hey, 40-year-old pussy, if you're not good at golf, take lessons with golf. Don't just think like, hey, I found a new sport.
Don't half-ass it.
Like it's like don't just make shit up if you're not good at the sport. And I think that's where a lot of haters come in.
And
yeah, I mean, do you guys have an opinion? Like, would you? I mean,
I wouldn't be caught dead playing it. I mean, don't play nearly as much golf as you. I might be lucky to get 4 or 5 rounds in a year, just due to work and stuff.
That's a week for me. So,
yeah, see, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I'm decent at golf. My short game sucks. But there's nothing worse in golf than to have some group on your ass and then, like, having to let them play through. And I think it'd be so much worse if it was, like, a foursome of flingers. I don't even know what you're going to call them, but I'm going to call them flingers.
That's a good. I think that's a good word for it.
Yeah, no, they are flingers. That's the name. But no, are you saying you'd let them go through?
I mean, I guess if they're on your ass, because, you know, sometimes the marshals get on your ass too, and if you have a group on your ass and they're bitching to the marshal's going to come cruising up on the golf cart and be like, hey, can you guys maybe pick up the pace a little bit?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah, you'll go fast, and I also think that it's like, it's less of a headache. You know, instead of 14 clubs, you're playing with one club. You're not going to lose your ball, so you're going to play with one ball. Like, that's crazy. Like, think about, like, if you joined a bowling league, you'd have, like, 1 or 2 balls. Like, in golf, you can use, like, 10 balls in one round.
Sometimes more if it's a bad day.
Yeah.
Go through a dozen.
But, yeah, man, I just, fling golf is ridiculous, but, I mean, I'll just make fun of those people with my friends if I see them on the course. And then just live and let live.
For sure. Chad, do you have any other questions for Adam?
Just probably one more. This isn't related to golf, but I think you'll probably be ready for it. I thought by the next time we had you on, the Jets might have Aaron Rodgers.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Do you have any inside information of when this might happen?
I was waiting for this. Dude. I mean, I'm speechless at this point. I don't know if anything's changed with the Lamar situation.
No,
that I've heard of.
Other than Odell Beckham. Other than that,
it's getting weird at this point. You're starting to read into things. Odell going to the Ravens yesterday. It's like, what does that mean for Rodgers? But then you're like, well, we got Lazard. Like, I don't know if we had Lazard when I last spoke with you guys, but we got Lazard. We got his old, like, Rodgers backup quarterback.
Yeah,
I did see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird.
I mean, it's got to be waiting till after June 1st or something like that, to where their dead money would go down drastically, right?
Yeah, but they need to figure out the quarterback situation before the draft.
That's what I'm thinking.
I've heard it literally might be draft night. It might literally be a draft night trade. We'll see what happens, but
yeah, I mean,
the Packers are mum for sure. They're not saying anything.
Like, you know, Joe Douglas, the Jets GM, like, was asked, like, how certain are you going to get Aaron Rodgers? And he's like, it's pretty much a done deal. The operative word being pretty much, but
that's a good point.
It's just bizarre at this point. There's really not much to say. I'm looking at the draft dates for the NFL. So yeah, it's always the last weekend of April.
Yeah, what is it? 20? It's not the 22nd this year, is it?
It's a little bit later than that. All I know is it's the last weekend.
27th.
Oh, okay.
I mean, look, gun to my head, I think it's going to happen. I don't know what is going on. Aaron Rodgers is a weird person. The Packers are a very bizarre organization, very mum about stuff. The Jets, nothing is ever smooth with that franchise. It's just like a confluence of like Tweedledee and Tweedledum trying to work something out. But I am confident that Rodgers will go to the Jets. And, if not, I mean, then we're fucked. I don't think we'll get Lamar. But we got rid of Mike White, and then we'll have to do the Zach Wilson experiment all over again. And I don't think Robert Saleh will let that happen. So.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts, man. What is this, the 11th? And then Rogers went on the McAfee show, I think the 16th?
Yeah, it's a while
That's
ago.
what happens when you break your own news, though. Not everybody's in line with your breaking news.
Insane, man.
Well, I'm sure it's going to happen soon, maybe. Probably, like you said, draft night. And then once it does, we'll definitely have you back on to try to recap this and find out. You just see how excited you are.
Yeah, dude, I'll be partying, man. I will. I might even suck up some Green Label for that. Green in honor of the Jets and the Packers.
There you go. That's what you gotta do. Before we let you go, though, Adam, I do have one more question for you, and that is going to be: who is your favorite to win the PGA Championship this year? Because that is going to be the next major.
Absolutely. I think so. Yeah, I mean I had already blocked off that Tuesday to come on your show again.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm already thinking about that. Good God. I want to see what's up. Oof. I want to see what's up with Scheffler. He did not putt well this weekend.
He's a safe bet for sure in any tournament right now.
He's been doing well.
Yeah. My dark horse, I think I'm going to pick my dark horse, and I think this is probably because the odds will be good. I'm gonna say Victor Hovland. This kid is due to win a major at some point.
He came storming up on Sunday too. I was like, man, he might make it all the way to the top. He almost did.
Yeah. I think I put money on Hovland. Otherwise, I'm gonna say Cam Young. There's something I just really, really like about the dude's demeanor. Like no high, no low. He's like the Belichick of golfers, just emotionally.
No days off.
Those are my three choices. You got Scheffler, Hovland, and then Cam Young.
Okay,
I like that. Those are some dark horses.
We'll take it.
Absolutely, man.
Well,
Adam, we appreciate your expertise so much, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And, next time, either PGA Championship or when the Jets get Rogers. Happy to talk to you guys as always.
Yeah, we'll have you on as soon as when we record, whenever that happens. Hopefully it happens, on a Monday night, and then, we can get right into it that next Tuesday. Or the Tuesday, yeah.
That would be cool. And,
absolutely.
Eventually we're going to get another mic, and we might just have you in here live.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep, it'll happen soon, man. We're going to keep upgrading.
We're upgrading. We got multiple cameras. We're going to have, hopefully, another mic soon, slowly but surely, man.
Yep, piece by piece.
I'm excited for you guys. You guys are hustlers. I love it.
Thanks, man. We appreciate you taking the time out to come and talk with us. It means a lot because, you're up there on that next level we're trying to get to.
Exactly, man. You're good inspiration.
I'm happy to, guys. I'm really happy to because it is possible to have a full-time job and start a career in this industry. So
that's what we're hoping for, man.
If your listeners want that Tony Robbins-esque motivation, then you can keep that in.
Oh, it's staying. It's all in.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Hey, get that shot ready, man. We'll cheers you.
Yeah, do a shot right now.
Oh, yeah. All right. I got my shot ready to rock and roll.
Let's do it, buddy.
Here's to Shinetime and Fringe Fanatics, dude. Thanks for coming on. We always appreciate you. Thanks to all our listeners as well. And thank you, Adam. It's been great.
Thanks, Adam.
All right. Thanks, Chad. Thanks, Dane.
Good
and
shit.
It was a pleasure actually meeting in person at Chad's birthday. So that was
true.
nice as well. So.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. What a great time. What a great time. It was great meeting you.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out.
Chad had
Adam.
to go to bed early,
Yep. I'm an old man.
That's right. That's right. But we'll get out. We'll do the Buffalo Trace challenge at some point.
Let's do it, man.
Let's
Maybe
do it.
we'll turn that into some content. It's all about that content at the end of the day.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Adam.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks, Bit. Have a great night, dude. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Woo!
That went well.
It went well, yeah. It'll be nice when we do have extra microphones because then we could just take one and just angle it right to
Oh,
that.
I know, man. That would be nice.
And then Chad's arms over there like shaking, holding
Dude, he got
the
tired.
horrible voices.
I got to thinking, I was like, I want to get like a stand or something.
I
for
almost
this,
thought
man.
about it. I was like, could we like do, it wouldn't look cool with a duct tape roll, but something just to angle it up. But yeah, Adam's fucking great, dude. Super
really
fucking knowledgeable, man. It's fun talking to him.
He really is, man. He knows his shit, and it's cool too because he's just like us, to where he gets into a lot of other sports. So, sponge of information.
Definitely, and it's nice that he likes to wring out some of that information he's filled with on top of us.
That's a good way to put it, man. Very graphic there.
Rain on me.
Should we just roll into the headlines then?
We're gonna try and cruise through these because that went a little bit long, but it's all good fucking content.
It is, man.
We'll see how it goes. We might not get into the penalty box this week just because there's so much shit going on.
There is.
And then with having Adam on, it takes up a little bit of time, but
totally worth it.
We'll see where we're at. We might just run through the standings real quick and briefly talk about some stuff. If not, we will be doing a deep dive on the playoffs, which will be pretty much started, I think, by next Tuesday.
I would imagine so.
And we'll also have the NBA playoffs started by next Tuesday, Sunday night, first game for the Nuggets.
I can't wait.
Let's get into these headlines. Chad, do you have any NFL news?
The only NFL I got is we briefly talked about it, where Odell Beckham Jr. signed a 1-year deal with the Ravens for $18 million.
I saw reports today it's only 15.
Well, a 15 guaranteed is what I thought. I think it's up to 18, probably with incentives.
Yeah. Those damn incentives.
Yep.
I do have a few. The Lions trade Jeff Okudah to the Falcons for
today.
a fifth-round pick in this year's draft. Okudah was the third overall pick in the 2020 draft. Unfortunately for Okudah, injuries limited him to just 10 games over his first couple seasons. He did start 15 games in 2022, though, and he had played his best football early in the season. Set career highs in tackles and passes defended while recording his first pick 6 in 2022. So that's a good pickup for the Falcons. They're definitely adding a bunch of pieces on defense.
I was going to say...
Who's the quarterback, though?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Hopefully not Desmond Ridder. But you got to think, too, that was it Jesse Bates or the other defensive back from the Bengals that went there?
I think it was Jesse Bates.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
So their defensive backfield's gotten a lot better.
They already had a pretty damn good defense, and their running game...
With the Falcons?
It was all right. They had a good back end, but they didn't have a good front seven. I think that was the problem.
I think it's the opposite. That's why they added some defensive.
Oh, you're right. That would make sense.
Yeah,
I just made some shit
You could
up,
pass
apparently.
all over them.
Yeah.
Their run D was okay, but their defense overall was pretty lackluster.
They just
last
have
year.
one hell of a running game. And if they got Lamar, they would be unstoppable.
I'm still banking on that. I really hope they get
would be
Lamar.
unstoppable.
Go for it.
So you didn't have anything else for the NFL.
Nope.
I did have a couple things. You already hit the Odell thing. Devin White did request a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
It came out through his people. He's currently playing on his fifth-year option of $11.7 million that the team has already picked up, but he did tell them today, I want out. Everybody's gone. Tom Brady's gone. Get me the fuck out of here and get me a payday, because you know that he ain't going to be making $11.7 million on his next contract.
He's going to probably be closer to 15.
Yeah, for sure. The other one I have, teams have reached out to the Cards about number 3 pick in this year's draft. According to Shefty, it is up to 6 teams that are looking to move up.
It's good news.
Definitely good news, because we don't want them to take that. I mean, we'll see who actually those 6 teams are, but it's always nice just to see these teams that don't need a quarterback to trade out and all the fuck. They'll get so much shit for that number 3 pick. When you look at it at the end of the day, it's like, dude, what'd you get? Like a first round and probably like a second and who knows what else? Maybe a player.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Bears when they traded their number 1 overall pick. It's like, shit, they got a haul for it.
Wasn't that to get they traded back, right? And that was when they picked fucking God damn it.
No, I'm talking about this upcoming year when they had the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I thought you were talking about when they traded back. They didn't pick Mahomes, and they ended up picking... What the fuck is his name?
I don't think they traded back. I think they maybe already had that pick, but I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough. All right. Moving on to the... Oh, one other thing about the Cards, though. They did grant permission to D-Hop to seek a trade. He is currently a $30.75 million cap hit to that team if he plays this year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so much money for a wide receiver.
They need to drop
Especially
that.
when that old. Tyreek, I get it. He's got 4 years left, hopefully. But man, I don't know. D-Hop hasn't had that good of a run, especially with the getting suspended and all this stuff. So
I think they need to trade him. I mean, they're in full rebuild. They really have to.
Yeah, you're basically building around Kyler. D-Hop, you don't need a guy with 1 to 2 years left.
I've heard the Chiefs are still kind of in those teams that might go for it, but we have the draft capital.
We will see what happens.
Do you have anything for baseball?
I do have some other things, but I do want to talk about one other thing. Because you did touch on, like I said, Odell. Let's talk about YouTube, though. They out there.
Oh, God.
Mine, Chad. Did you see the prices?
I ain't going to talk about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But
I know
I'll tell you what
gonna do.
I ain't going to pay that.
Yeah. So we all thought maybe that going to YouTube might make it kind of fucking reasonable. No. Right now, if you are a subscriber to YouTube, you can get Sunday Ticket and Red Zone for $289 for the season.
Before June 6th.
Before
That's
June
the key
6th.
thing.
If not, I believe it goes up to $349, which is $100 off the retail price of $449 for the season.
Oh, what a deal.
Yeah. And then you have to pay an additional $40 for Red Zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's just for that's for the Sunday Ticket.
Yep.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
I think we're going to see the bubble of streaming services pop here soon. They're already losing their asses. I know Netflix and Disney even were talking about the amount of money they're spending and not getting back in because you're not having like these blockbuster movies and it's all these series that you're only getting this finite income in every month from these customers, and it's not like you don't have this chance of like people going and paying to see the movie 3 times in the theaters.
I don't know, though, because the last I checked into Netflix, they're raking it in.
They're raking it in, but they've already... look at what happened when they tried to come out with that no password sharing shit, dude. Their stocks dropped. And then everybody was like, fuck that, I'll leave. And then they're like, yeah, we're actually not going to do that.
I mean, it's tough to say because, I mean, I know with Disney Plus, they've got The Mandalorian going on right now. It just brings people to it. So I'd have to see the numbers behind it. But I do think streaming is going to work, especially with Amazon Prime and stuff. But, I mean... I really think they're going to probably see the blowback from this, and we might see a price decrease. Because correct me if I'm wrong, we should mention for DirecTV, wasn't it like $189 or something for the package?
I think so, but it did go up. I think that was if you did it like kind of like
special
YouTube's
time.
doing. But I think it was normally $249. It was like the price that like the MSRP, if you will, with no discount.
I don't understand why they don't just do.
Dude,
here's a $15 a month.
I hate to say it, it's too much fucking football. The few times my dad would pay for it, you can't sit there and fucking watch that many games.
Oh, dude, and that's just it.
You're flipping back and forth. You don't remember what game you're on. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck am I even watching?
And that's just it. And a few people I know at work and stuff, we've talked about this to where if it was just Red Zone, if they just isolate, because they know that's the gold nugget. They know that is what everybody seeks for.
Yeah.
So they know you can't, if they put that by itself, they're going to lose out on the whole ticket thing. Because we've talked about if they just did like a Hulu and Netflix thing where it was just $15 to $20 a month for Red Zone, even if they did a $30 a month for Red Zone,
so many people would pay
I would
that.
pay for it.
Yeah.
I would pay for that. Because when I finally switched to using Red Zone, it was the biggest game changer in my football viewing in my life.
Yeah.
It is the way to go because no one wants to flip through the fucking remote to go to this game, If you go to Red Zone, it's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Well, yeah, it's changing. It's all the important, it's the plays you want to see on a constant rotation. As soon as somebody gets in the red zone, they're fucking gone them. You're watching that.
And you got the great host, Scott Hansen.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, is Scott Hansen going to be doing it now since it's YouTube? Because on DirecTV, I thought it was Andrew Siciliano who did the red zone.
Well, Scott Hansen is the NFL guy.
That's NFL Network.
Right.
So I don't know. It's not on NFL Network anymore. He might not be doing it.
That's true.
YouTube might have their own guy. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll have to see. But I mean, I would.
Either way, it's fucking.
I really
outrageous.
doubt they would knock him out because he's been doing it for so long. I mean,
as much money as the NFL makes, dude, to fucking roll out some shit with YouTube like this and sign off on it and be like, yeah, no, that seems right.
Yeah,
dude, fucking $400? Are you shitting me?
That's so stupid, man. That is so dumb.
But I mean, when you think about it, someone broke it down like this on one of the radio stations today in town. They're like, but think about, like, okay, so you don't get the NFL Sunday ticket. Say you go to a bar every week and watch the games. You're probably spending $80-$90 a week at the bar. He's
That's
like, so
what
if
we
you
do at Dawn's.
extrapolate that out, he's like, really, you're probably paying less for a Sunday ticket, but because it's all there at once, you're like, fuck that shit,
Yeah.
$400. But then, like you said, you'll go to Don's and spend $100 a week.
Yeah, at least, on
average.
drinks and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that is a really good point.
But yeah, so let's move into. I did have a couple NBA things I did want to talk about real quick. Did you have anything in the NBA?
Yeah, I just got one thing. It could be the same as yours. Golden State set the NBA record with a 55-point first quarter on Sunday, I think it was, the season finale. I mean, you got to mention, of course, it was against a Blazers team that was totally done for the season. They weren't trying at all. But still, 55 points and to score a total of 157 points in that game.
I think they actually set the record before that, if I'm not mistaken.
They did?
It was on my birthday.
Yep. That's why I thought it was kind of funny when I read that title. I was like, I feel
they
like
already
they've done
do
this
that?
before
Yeah.
when you watched it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and Meryl was like, "Do you want to leave?" It was like halftime. I was like, "Nah, this is too wild to not sit here and just watch the onslaught that is the Golden State."
That's what's so scary about
Warriors.
Golden State, man, is if once they get hot, they are
And
sizzling.
and they're pretty healthy right now.
They are.
Wiggins is back.
Wiggins back.
Yeah, it's getting scary. Okay, so that was yours. I did not have that. So look at us go. We've got different things.
Yep.
KD becomes the first player to average 55% shooting, 40% on threes, and 90% from free throws. Granted, this was on a truncated number of games.
48, I believe, right?
Yeah, so I think I saw him put out a little tweet that's like,
Yeah.
it didn't matter because it didn't happen in 65, and it shouldn't. Yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
even play
I don't
fucking
feel-
2/3 of the games, dude.
That stat shouldn't even really be brought up. It's just not worthy.
It is.
I mean,
it
it's
popped up,
impressive,
but yeah,
but
it's-
yeah, I
it
get
was
it.
news, but
No.
yeah, at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, but you did it. It's just like Embiid getting the MVP, which we all know is going to happen. On what? How many games? 63.
Giannis is my pick.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
Well, Giannis himself came out today and said he has been the MVP the last 5 years. So
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a badass player for sure. The other NBA news I have, I'm sure you probably have it too, is Gobert getting the 1-game suspension for punching Kyle Anderson.
in the chest.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about this real quick. So this is the fallout of this loss to the Pelicans. Gobert and Kyle Anderson get into an argument. I believe Anderson told Gobert to block some fucking shots. Gobert told him to get some fucking rebounds. Anderson called him a bitch.
Yep.
Punch was thrown. And then, for some reason, Jaden McDaniels decides to punch a wall and break 2 bones in his hands. So they lose Rudy Gobert for the play-in. They lose Jaden McDaniels for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no doubt.
And yeah, they basically imploded in one game.
It's so hilarious,
It's
man.
almost like they had money on the Lakers finishing in the 7th seed.
I don't know. I
Because
think
the Lakers are going to probably fucking roll on them. All they have is Anthony Edwards.
that would be my guess, but they make so many dumb decisions as a team and organization that I just think that's their character.
Yeah. And real quick, you pulled it up earlier. Why don't you tell us what they gave up for Rudy Gobert,
Yeah,
who is
let's
not
just-
playing in the most important game of their season to date?
Yep. I think they play tonight. Yeah, they play the Lakers tonight.
Yep. It's the late
8:30
game.
Mountain Time. And so when I saw this, I had to save it because I couldn't believe that our old GM, the
Tim Connolly
Nuggets old GM,
brought this team together pretty much.
it did this move right here where he did a trade with the Jazz, and the Jazz received Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Leandro Ballamero. I'm not sure how to say
That was
that.
close.
Yeah, probably. Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt, which is a badass player on the Lakers
Yeah.
right now. And then 4 first-round picks, 2023,
4
2025, 2027, 2029,
It's crazy how far out it
2026.
is.
Just keeps going far into the future. We don't even know if
Yeah.
Earth will still... I said Earth.
Earth. You don't even know if Earth going to be around.
I can't even get these. I had to,
Earth.
there was so much to say, I couldn't even get that out. But all the Timberwolves got was Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, and
Really
now
paid off for you.
The Twin Towers that they had out there, yeah, half of it's gone, and it's through your own doing. You're the ones that suspended them because they had to, because of how stupid that looked. And then yet again, we have Rudy Gobert, who pretty much is the blame for COVID happening, now ruining the Timberwolves' chances of probably making it to the playoffs, because they're going to probably wind up in having to play the loser of the 9-10 game, and then they might not win that, because they're going to have Gobert come back and hope to God they can pull together a win, and then go play the Nuggets.
Yeah, that's why I hope it's them that wins so that we get to play them. But I mean,
we don't want the Lakers. We know.
Yeah, the Lakers seem to be on a roll right now. I mean, it's just so funny what's going on with the Timberwolves. So we're going to be rooting for the Lakers tonight. Am I right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we must root for the Lakers tonight because we want them to be the 7 seed so that they have to play the Grizzlies. We want the Grizzlies to get beat up by the Lakers. Or
that would be
versa,
great.
So.
Yeah.
Definitely would be great. I think that wraps it up for the NBA for me. Let's get into the NHL real quick. Just a couple things. Capitals lose TJ Oshie for the year because of the dreaded upper body injury. We all know in the NHL.
Yep.
Them lower body injuries,
mystery
and them upper body
injury.
injuries. They're just the bane of a hockey player's existence. But yeah, so they lose him. He finishes the year with 35 points, 19 goals, 16 assists in 58 games. Sharks defenseman becomes the first defenseman to reach 100 points since Brian Leetch in 1992. Carlson has 25 goals with 75 assists in 80 games. So
wow.
This dude's an assist machine.
That's cool.
That's wild.
Good team player.
Yeah, definitely a good team player. Let's move into the Bruins because every
this
week
is what I had
we
written
have
down.
to talk about
There's
the Bruins.
new news every
You take it. You take it, Chad.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
hear
I
about
had
it.
to say it because it's pretty big news. Bruins break the NHL win record with 63. This was a few days ago, and I think they played at night or something. Or
I think they do. You know, I haven't looked at the.
Yep, they play the Capitals, and it's 0-0 after the first.
Okay, and we just talked about the Capitals. They lost one of their best players. So yeah, what Chad just said, they now have the most wins in the NHL. They are on pace to set the record for the most points in the NHL, and they have an opportunity to do that. This Bruins team it's wild, man. It's literally every week they've broke some other record.
It's crazy how good they are. It's like out of a Disney movie or some shit, man.
So they beat the Flyers 5-3 on Sunday, breaking the tie with the 2018-2019 Tampa Bay Lightning and the 95-96 Red Wings as they continue just to break all of the records. And, yeah, I think they are going to break literally every single winning record this year.
Well, I'm excited for the playoffs then because I want to see if they can really keep it together, keep it going.
Yeah, let us move into the MLB. Chad, do you have any MLB news?
I got one, and
let's hear it.
Pretty crazy. It's the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, it's a great one.
Yep, go 9-0 to start the season. The first team to do that since the Royals in 2003.
And actually, Chad, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, they are actually 10-0 now.
Yeah, that's right.
They beat up on your Royals last
yeah,
night.
that is ironic, isn't it?
11-2.
And that's something I want to mention as well is they're not just doing this by, the what's the right term? The nip of their nut bud, the skin of their teeth. That's probably what I'm going for there.
Yeah.
They're steamrolling teams.
Yeah, and actually, I just misspoke. That was the next thing that I wanted to talk about that involved your team. But you are right. They are steamrolling people. So they are 10-0 this season. They have a 58-run differential.
Yep.
They're just blowing people out. Their 1-0 win over the Red Sox yesterday was their first win by fewer than 4 runs.
Yeah.
This is insane.
And that snapped the streak because they had the 1939 Yankees was the team that they were tied with at 9-0 for beating teams by more than 4 runs and going 9-0. 1939 Yankees. That's how good they've been doing. Granted, they've played a soft schedule. You got to say that.
Yeah, they definitely have. That's the crazy thing about baseball is they've gone so far back with stats when you're like the 1892 Boston Yellow Sox.
That shit blows me away when you hear that sometimes.
Yeah, it's like who the fuck was keeping track of this shit? Oh, this is totally beside the point. Let me get to this first. So the thing that I was going to talk about that involved your Royals, Rangers Andrew Heaney ties the AL record with 9 straight strikeouts in the 11-2 win over Chad's Royals Monday night. The major league record is 10 straight by Tom Seaver of the Mets in 1970.
Well, he was a good pitcher.
To strike out 9 people, and that's fucking hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
To not have anybody at least get hit, get contact, a little blooper or something like that.
That's lights out.
It is lights out. But the thing that I did want to talk about, so we talked about I play video games every once in a while.
Once in a while, yep.
The new MLB The Show came out, and I have like Xbox Game Pass. It's like you pay like $14 a month, and they give you like games and shit.
Cool.
Well, they give you the new MLB The Show. Dude, they have the coolest fucking... it's almost like a story mode about the Negro Leagues.
Oh, sweet.
So, like, it goes
KC
through...
Monarchs.
Yes, exactly. Satchel Paige, that's where it starts. So, it starts on Satchel Paige, and it's so cool. It's like, so they start telling you about how crazy Satchel Paige is. Throws 105 miles per hour.
Wow.
And they tell you the story about that, and then it cuts to you playing out that part of his life in the game. So it's like talking about Satchel Paige's 105 mile per hour fastball when that happened, and then like you have to play this little part of the game and strike somebody out with fastballs.
Okay.
But it goes through like 4 or 5, I think, of the Negro League's best players. But it's like also like cuts to these cut scenes, and this dude's like telling you the history of it.
Oh, sweet.
And so you like learn, like you watch like a 5-6 minute video of like this like crazy part in this Negro player's career, and then next thing you know, like you're playing that out, and it's super cool.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
Like you see the shit with like Madden and stuff, and they do bring back those old players, but it's not really as in depth as that.
Well,
it's cool. Like you learn about.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that they give you some history on it's really cool. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, like Satchel Paige, dude. Did you know this is fucking insane? So they don't know how old he is. The Bible page that like back in the day, like in the back of the family Bible, they would write everybody's birthdays. Supposedly, a goat ate that page out of the family Bible.
What the fuck?
So nobody knows how old he is. So they think for sure he was born sometime in the mid 1890s, but he says he was born in the 1900s, in the very like 1901 or something.
Okay.
So this guy, I want to say it was in the 50s is when it was his rookie year in the MLB, and he was 49 years old.
What?
As a rookie. But the thing is, he's 10 years older than he actually is. So he was 59 years old as a rookie, fucking striking these dudes out. And then he helped the Cleveland Indians win the World Series in the 60s. He was 69 years old.
This seems like folklore,
Dude,
man.
This dude was insane.
This
throws
just
105.
seems nuts.
He throws 105 miles per hour. The Army was out there. They clocked him at throwing 105 miles per hour, and this guy comes running out. They're like, Satchel, you just threw 105 miles per hour. He's like, I wish I knew you guys were timing me. I would have thrown harder. But they say, like, dude, I'm sorry, this is a super big tangent, but like,
no, that's all good.
You learn so much cool shit. He would literally, his like bullpen sessions, they would lay aluminum gum wrapper on the plate, and he could paint the corners of that gum wrapper at 105 miles per hour.
Jeez, that's accurate.
He said the catcher didn't even throw him signs. He just put his glove where he wanted the ball, and Satchel would throw a pitch. He had like 20 pitches. He called them all like the dipsy do, the B ball. The B ball was 105 mile per hour fastball, and he said he called the B ball because he's like, when I throw it, it's gonna be where I want it to be.
Wow.
Super crazy. Anyways,
that's super fascinating, man. That's cool.
If you play video games, and sports games get old really quick just because it's the same shit over and over. You play Madden fucking 100 times. At the end of the day, you're just playing
it's the same thing,
the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
But this is cool. You're learning shit. It's fucking something that I feel like should probably get even more recognition than it has, which is the Negro Leagues, because we were talking about Babe Ruth the other week. Imagine if he was going against black dudes back in the day.
That's the biggest asterisk there is, man, is he got all those home runs, and he wasn't pitching against guys like Satchel Paige and stuff.
Yeah,
but
there was a story about Satchel Paige, and this is it. They were playing some white team that was like a minor league team, and this guy got a ground ball on him. And he's like, see, he ain't nothing. We can hit this guy. And Satchel Paige calls out to the first baseman. He's like, bring him in. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, bring him in. They brought in the entire all other 8 guys, and they sat around the fucking pitcher's mound, struck out the side.
Oh shit!
It's crazy, dude.
Man,
Like, I was
that's
like,
cool.
Dude, this is like some baller shit.
They need to make a
dude.
movie off that,
seriously,
man.
I
That
can't
seriously
believe there's
needs
not
to-
a Satchel Paige movie,
There
dude.
needs to. I mean, they made a Jackie movie with Chadwick
Yeah.
Boseman,
and we
you know?
posted that the other day about The Sandlot. It was the 30-year
Yeah.
anniversary of The Sandlot.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
I
an
would
epic
watch a
movie.
fucking Satchel Paige movie
Oh,
tomorrow.
no doubt, man.
Put
They
it
need
out.
to make one.
I know.
But if anybody is in the Kansas City area, the Negro Baseball Hall of Fame is in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because, the Monarchs were like the team of the Negro Leagues. They
Yeah.
had Satchel Paige. I can't remember his name right now. The second guy, there was another pitcher behind Satchel Paige who did not get nearly as famous, but I guess he was like an insane off-speed pitcher. Had like the craziest curveball ever
Wow.
in Major League Baseball.
That's nuts. Did you know, I know he's not Negro, but did you know that, part of the Negro League or anything, what I should say, but Walter Johnson, the big train,
Yeah.
he's from like 10 minutes from my hometown.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was like, it's like Coffeyville, or I know it was like 10 minutes from Parsons, but yeah, I did a little report for him when I was in grade school. It's nuts.
Hey, I did a report on God damn it. Oh, it's so bad I can't remember his name. The San Francisco wide receiver, oh god.
Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice, yes.
That's what you were trying to think of.
Dude, total brain fart. I'm so tired.
It's all good.
But yeah, Jerry Rice, I did a report on him way back in the day. You got
that's
those
cool.
old school reports from
Yeah,
school.
you learn a lot.
You do. That's going to wrap it up for headlines. We've made it.
It does. I think it's time for a musical break. What do you think?
Musical break. We got AKUA the God coming at you. He is our musical guest of the month. If you haven't yet, please go give all of his pages a like and a follow, and make sure to check out his music on Spotify. The name of this song is Bow Down. We will be back here shortly. Thank you, guys.
AKUA the gladiator, champion, dominator, spawn, running with violator, red in my eyes like a terminator, legs in the back like an alligator, too fly, might be an aviator, too fly, flight of the navigator, the instigator, push your punks out like a crossfader, you don't want that, give chest pains like a heart attack, got 'em wondering where their guards at, it's red and black, never question that, wreck shit upon contact, problems I could solve that, my mindset's ready for combat, if I bomb first, don't bomb back, hits all collision, smash crash, numbers get slashed like long division, taking over your television, dog shit in my outfit, we all sit and watch exorcisms, taking over your algorithm, cause kill 'em all was just Darwinism, monster from a dark place, so just face it, ain't running with none of this fake shit, hot slash through anything basic, this sweet shit I erase it, tongues razor sharp when I spit like this, I ace it, I'm the enemy using alchemy with a god ruin and grace me. Bow down, bow down, bow down.
Let's do it.
And we are back. You just heard AKUA the God. The song was Bow Down. If you have not yet, please go like and follow all of AKUA's stuff, whether it be on social media or on whatever you're listening to him on. Go check out his YouTube channel. He makes videos for every song he puts out, so he's always on top of his shit. Like I said, he's got the God Division, so now he's got rappers underneath him that are like, part of his crew. Shit's popping off for him, so please make sure to go and follow his stuff, and then hopefully all of his fans do the same for us, and that is how we grow this goddamn community, Chad.
That's right.
On that note, though, we have two things in front of us that need to be handled at the utmost of importance. That would be the shots at the turn, which is so fitting for the show because we had Adam on. So
it is, man.
Shinetime golf. We're at the shooting at the turn. We learned about the Buffalo Trace. What did he call it?
It's so funny that he called it, like he mentioned Buffalo Run too, because I was like, dude, that's 2 minutes from my house.
I drive by it on the way here.
Sometimes when we walk our dogs, we walk by it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to get into golf, man. I need to just
Let's do it, man. We'll
give
go
me
out
some
one day.
old clubs or something.
Yeah.
I'll be down.
Dude, I'll find you something. We'll go out.
I'm down.
I've got a set. Well,
I'll call a Buffalo Run up and see how much it would be just to get on the tees and fuck around.
I'm
just
telling
to do
you,
a 9
I'm telling
hole.
you right now, you don't want to go on a full course to begin with.
No, that would mean just 9 holes.
No,
That's what
you want to go on a par 3 probably.
Oh no, I want to do the whole thing, man.
You wanna do a big
just
one?
a 9 hole, but because I've done it before.
Because there's par 3s that are 9 holes too. There's one in Broomfield that's super rad. It's like $18 to go play, and it's only a par 3. But there is a couple holes where you have to hit 3 wood, sometimes a driver, depending. But
There's a course over here. I think it's in Thornton. That's really nice. I've driven by it. I mean, it's not like it's fancy, but it's cool. It's
There's
pretty cool.
Thorn Creek over there off like 136th.
I don't think it's that one.
There's also Riverdale.
That's
and
what
the
it is, I
Dunes.
think. Yep, Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale's a fun course. The other course, the Dunes, is fucking hard as shit.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
the Dunes.
Yeah, they call it the Dunes. It's like the
Yeah.
movie Dune.
Well, let's make it happen, man. I'm tired
anyways.
of talking about it.
All right, let's
We
just
will.
go do it. If not, we should just go to fucking Topgolf sometime.
I think that's a great idea.
Maybe that's a way to get into it. See how you swing the clubs.
Probably
Swing the old sticks.
I got to hit the ball first before I go on a course, right?
Well, cheers to you, my friend, and cheers to everybody out there listening and or watching. We appreciate you all. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Warmer. It's warmer now. Loving it.
All right, so things are different. We're at the NBA fast break, but it's the playoff or the play-in tournament edition. I almost said playoff. Play-in tournament edition. So tonight, number 7 Miami takes on the number 8 Hawks at home. We are currently watching that game. Chad, give me an update on that score, please.
Atlanta 69, Miami at home only 60 points right now. They are coming back. Whenever we were watching it before we took that break, they were down by at 1.18.
And the crazy thing is, I thought Miami was going to be the one to win this game.
I did too, because Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, is way different.
Yeah, and then
But they're coming back now. They're
Atlanta,
making a surge.
I'm not sure what's going on with that team. I don't know how long Trey is going to be there.
He's got a big ego, man.
Yeah.
But let's get into what we're gonna do is, and other times when we've done the fast break is kind of do the top stories and headlines from the NBA. But now that the playoffs are officially here, starting tonight, what we're gonna do is just kind of lay out the playoff bracket for you and somewhat explain, if we understand it in a sense, the play-in tournament.
Yeah, so we'll start in the Eastern Conference. So in first place, you have the Bucks sitting at 58-24. Second place, you have the Celtics, 57-25. Third place, the Sixers, 54-28. Fourth place, the Cavs at 51-31. The Knicks are in fifth place, 47-35. And in sixth place, you have the Nets at 45-37. But in the play-in tournament, so you have Miami and the Hawks at home tonight. The winner of that game will be the 7 seed in the East. And the loser of that game will play either Toronto or the Bulls, the winner of the 9 and 10 seed game. And the winner of that game will then be the 8 seed.
So whoever loses the 9 and 10 seed gets eliminated, right?
Yeah, they're done.
One game,
You're done.
you win and go home, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But 7 and 8, you get a chance. You get one more game if you lose the 7-8 seed game to play the winner of the 9-10 seed game. And then you could possibly get back into the 8 seed. You could also be the 7 seed and lose out of the playoffs and not even be. You should have been in, but you're not.
Well, it's like Miami tonight. Miami loses tonight. They will then play.
They will play the winner of either Toronto or the Bulls.
Exactly.
On
And so
Wednesday
then if
night.
they lose that game, then they're out.
done. Yeah.
Yep.
So, case in point, we could see that happen. By when or no, because that's going to happen this weekend. I don't
The
know.
14th
when
is when the
games-
play-in tournament is finished.
Oh, okay. So then that would be that night.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, and they're obviously stacking them and staggering them. So tonight we have an East and a West game, and then tomorrow night we have an East and a West game. Then there's probably what's today, the 11th?
Yeah. 4-11.
So Friday night, then we'll have the end of the play-in. So in the West, though, we're going to go the Nugs in first place, 53-29. In second place, you have the Grizzlies at 51-31. In third place, you have the Sacramento Kings, 48-34. And the Suns sitting in fourth place at 45-37. And the Clippers in fifth at 44-38. Golden State made it all the way out of the play-in into the sixth spot, 44-38, tied for Los Angeles Clippers, but they must have a game in hand on them because they are in fifth and they are not in sixth like Golden State. But tonight, so the Lakers are the number 7 seed. They are hosting the number 8 Timberwolves. The winner of this game will be the 7 seed, which we all hope is the Lakers if you're a Nuggets fan, because we do not want to face the Lakers in the first round. The Wolves, or if say the Wolves lose, they will be taking on the winner of the Pelicans or the Thunder. So that's the game tomorrow night. Pelicans and Thunder. That is the 9-10 seed. The loser of that game is out. The winner will play the winner of the Lakers or the Wolves. So that is how the playing games work, basically. Winners of the 7-8 seed become the 7th seed, and the winners of the 9-10 seed play the losers of the 7-8 seed to be the 8th seed. It
seems kind of confusing, but it is fun. Once you see it all play out.
When you actually say it out loud, it seems way more confusing.
I know, right? But it's pretty simple.
I did hear somebody bring up something interesting today where they should have another tournament that runs opposite of this tournament of the last 6 teams for the lottery, and you play for the number 1 pick.
Wow, that would be pretty cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? Imagine that. So last night you have the 2 worst teams play, and then tomorrow night you have, or however you want to do it, you stagger it. But
I kind of like that.
But rather than that, wouldn't that be better to have people playing for the number 1 seed rather than these teams just like the
airing
Rockets?
the fucking lottery that nobody gives a shit about?
And the lottery's bullshit anyways, dude. Why make it fucking random balls? And you don't fucking have them play for it.
I think what you should do is actually go to a bingo night at the Knights of Columbus and watch old ladies. Houston Rockets, bingo! I think that would be way better.
Dude, we went to one of those with my mom and my aunt.
Oh, that's awesome. I went when I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
It was my grandma gave me like the old like bingo dabbers and shit, man.
Yeah, you get it,
It was fun. I had a good time doing it.
It's definitely fun. It's and people get pissed off if you fuck up and call bingo.
Oh, dude, they do not. Or if you're not paying attention or shit, it's like, pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta get on this.
One time, I don't know if you've ever watched Impractical Jokers.
Yeah, a few times, yeah.
Yeah. The punishments when they lose, though, are the best part of the show. And one of them, they made Sal go to a bingo place and just call out bingo over and over and
That's
over again.
awesome.
And did you see these old people like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they're getting so mad. Like,
dude, they get so into it, man. And it was like Friday night because old people don't do shit on Friday nights. So like that was the Knights of Columbus
on a Friday.
To do it, man. And that's why still to this day when I buy scratch offs, it's only bingos.
Okay.
That's the funnest thing to do.
Well, that's the thing, dude. And I'm that same way. It's either crosswords or bingos because if I'm gonna lose money, I don't want to just do this and it be over with.
You want to have some fun about it, right?
Yeah, a little foreplay.
That's a good way to get it. Get a little warmed up for it. Huh?
That's the best way to describe the bingo and the crossword scratchers. It's foreplay. The other ones, I feel like you're just masturbating.
Yeah,
like you're just I lost,
blowing your load way too fast.
I won $2.
I dig it, man. I dig it. All right, so let's get back into
we're fucking digressing.
The play. So we got the 3 and 6. So in the 3 and 6 in the West, it's Sacramento versus Golden State. 4 and 5, Phoenix versus Clippers, and then the New Orleans. Yeah, we've already went over the play-ins. So then in the East, it's Cleveland versus the Knicks, and then Phoenix versus Brooklyn Nets. Chris, 4 and 5s. What are you more enticed about?
You said Phoenix versus the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, and that's the
no, because Phoenix is in the Western Conference.
Oh, yeah, that's how bad my handwriting is. I meant Philly. Thank you for correcting me. That's how I thought it was a.
See, that's why I type.
Yep, that's a good call.
Don't trust my fucking handwriting.
I know. I got scribbled.
I fucking misread my typing, and But anyways, okay.
Philly versus Brooklyn.
Yeah, Philly versus Brooklyn.
My question for you though is, which 4 and 5 are you more enticed about? Because there's some really good matchups
in the 4 or 5 spot.
East or West? What is?
Oh man,
it's tough.
I hate to say it. Everything, as far as I'm concerned, in these playoffs is in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, the East is the conference to beat, and the Cavs are playing really good. What was Donovan Mitchell's last? He's averaging over 40
he
points
would fucking win over 40 so many times over this last month.
To me, that is the better 4 or 5 matchup. I know earlier we talked about dark horses.
Well, I mean, we might as well just get into it because that's my pick is Cleveland, man.
As a dark horse
in the East, and that's because we've seen firsthand what Donovan Mitchell does because of the Nuggets going up against him and the Jazz, and Darius Garland's starting to really come on right now. I really think they're going to beat the Nets, or not the Nets, but the Knicks. God damn it. And then go on to play whoever they got to play. I wouldn't doubt it if they can maybe make an upset then.
Yeah, and Yeah, because the playing teams in the East are just not good. I don't see any of them making a push. And I do agree. I feel like the Cavs, just with the way they've been playing, are the team to pick. The only other team I could think of would be the Knicks. And after acquiring Brunson, they are playing really good basketball.
They are.
I don't know if you saw the whole thing.
But it's the health of Randall that questions me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Cavs don't really have those injury bugs necessarily to worry about nearly as much. But yeah, in the West though, man, the Suns are a scary one, dude. But if we're going dark horses, it's the Lakers.
No, that in the West, that's definitely. I mean, it is. I have the Kings picked, but I can definitely.
The Kings would be my
you.
other team just because of how good they are on defense.
But I mean, the definition of a dark horse is someone that you don't quite expect, more of a lower seed.
I wouldn't expect the Lakers to be.
I know
where they are.
I know.
Oh, so you're saying the Sacramento Kings aren't necessarily a dark horse?
Well, it's just because not enough people talk about them.
I think they aren't in the sense that they aren't that team that you would expect to be there, so they can be that dark horse.
Right.
It's not like Philly in the East where it's like you should have probably been higher than 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, the West is so much more up in the air, and the scary part about the West is these playing teams are scarier than the East playing team.
I know. It's just there's so much parity in the West.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there hasn't been any national commentator at all or pundit talk about how the Nuggets might win, even the West, because of how they've looked. And that is one of the first times I've heard. It used to be the West was the dominant conference, but over the last couple of years, that really hasn't been the case.
Yeah, it's crazy because you had the dominance of the Lakers, 10 years ago, and then it's Golden State, and then the West has just been these powerhouse teams that have just been dominating the East, and now it's finally kind of switching back to the East is now the dominant side of the conferences. And I don't know, man.
It's tough, but I definitely like your pick with LA because I mean, it's hard to deny LeBron, man.
You don't know how much it pains me to say LA is a dark horse, but
it is true.
Hey, as Nuggets fans, we're obviously not feeling that confident when we're wanting the Lakers to win tonight, so we don't have to fucking play them.
Yeah,
because I hate to see it. I hate to see it. I hate to say it, but the additions they made at the trade deadline, they might have won the trade deadline as far as I'm concerned, because all of those guys are producing.
Yeah.
All those guys are contributing to the team doing well. And the big question is the health of LeBron and AD. How can AD handle, I mean, he can barely play a full season. I mean, you're basically looking at 20-game stints of how many games he's missed in 20 games.
Oh, yeah, he's going to have to
you
play.
break it into quarters. He might only play,
close to June.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's just, man, I am bummed that, and it's so weird, too, being the Avs and the Nuggets both being in first right now, how things have changed, because in January, we were talking about the Avs barely making the playoffs. They were a wild card team. Now they're in sole, basically, control of how they end the season. And then we have the Nuggets, who were dominating all season long, and then they just fucking back into the playoffs. Back in, dude. Yeah. So lackluster.
Look uninspired.
So lackluster. And it's just like, I know Jokic can flip that switch, dude, but I don't know if the other guys can.
I've seen Jamal Murray do it. I don't know.
He did in the bubble, but it's the bubble.
If he can do it now, because Zach Bai said it best on his podcast, a local radio host here in Denver, and he said it best whenever it was just like, this is the last chance for Jamal Murray. We've put up with having to go through these injuries with him, and it sucks. It's not his fault. But if he doesn't perform in these playoffs, we're moving on from him.
Yeah, for sure. Because at this point, man, I feel bad because he's given everything to this team, and I know how much it sucks to just have a gut-wrenching injury like that, especially when it happened at the end of the year, where it basically erases the whole next year, and then he basically misses the year after that, and it's just like, dude, I don't know if you're ever going to be the same again. It's kind of like the whole Tiger Woods thing. Like, is that one of those injuries that just kills a career? And maybe it is. And that's kind of like what we've been kind of talking about on the side. And we're not the only ones to say this, but the turmoil that's brewing in Dallas, I think, is the best thing that could ever happen for the Nuggets. If the Nuggets don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, I think there's going to be significant changes. We're talking maybe Michael Malone's fired, and maybe we end up trading Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray for Luka.
I really think it's possible. As I just mentioned with Zach By on that podcast, he's one of the best insiders for the Nuggets, and he said that we are in the top 3 of teams that are in play for Luka.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Jokic's birthday happened, and Luka and his girlfriend were the only other people that were not Jokic's brothers that were invited to the party. So
yeah, that says a lot. They're buddies. I mean, when they played in the bubble, they hung out a lot. A lot of those European players are close.
Yeah,
and I get it, but I've said before, I'm not sure how confident I am in it because Luka is, he deals with a lot of injuries himself. He's very young. He's still got a lot of maturing to do.
Yeah.
But if we could get a little more chemistry, and he's a damn good player. There's no doubt about that. I would be willing to give up MPJ and Murray for him.
And a first.
Yeah.
I give that up. You give me one player back that's a rotational player, maybe some good bench guy, and Luka for MPJ, and you're taking on them contracts, obviously. MPJ and Jamal Murray's contract, and we give you a first for Luka and a player, dude. I would do that in a heartbeat because
I'd be fine with it.
At this point, dude, like it's not a super team as far as I'm concerned. If Luka came here, especially if we gave, it'd be a super team if we kept MPJ and Jamal Murray and we had Luka.
Yeah,
I'd call that a super team,
probably.
But it's not a super team in the sense it's not Dwayne Wade and LeBron and goddamn it, I can't think of his name right now. Chris Bosh. Fuck, I can't believe I got that back. Yeah, it's not LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. It's not Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Curry and Draymond. But as far as I'm concerned, that just seems like a blue collar team that's going to beat you down.
I think so. I
mean,
mean,
we'll see how they. Yeah. We'd have to see how they play together. Obviously, it's a lot of shit that it's all conjecture at this point. But I think finals were what I think this team needed to do to solidify them as like a legit contender, and I don't have the faith they can make it to the finals. I think they can make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, Conference,
I think if they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, you have to do something.
I agree.
You have to do something.
And I think if they do get rid of Malone, I'm not too mad about it because there's been a lot of times throughout the year where we've seen a lot of crazy experimental stuff that maybe we've seen work, maybe not, and it's just like you've had the 2-time MVP, you've taken them this far before. I don't know if you're not getting, because we saw what really made me kind of come around on thinking, okay, maybe it is time to move around on Malone, is when we saw this team completely uninspired at the end of the season.
Did not look good.
Yeah.
And if you can't get your guys to fucking show up, that's on the coach to some degree.
And he keeps calling them soft, and I get that they are looking like that, but it is your job as a coach to get these guys fired up and get them ready to finish out the season. You look at the Bucks and what they've done before. We could have done the same thing.
Yeah, you really could have. And like I said, it was so uninspiring to basically have the chance to beat the worst team in the league to solidify the number 1 seed and not do it. That to me was the biggest, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing right now? That should have been an easy win. Shouldn't have even been an issue. They should have won outright by probably 20 points, and yet they get beat by one of the worst teams in the league. And then here we are, waiting for a team to basically lose to clinch it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it
was frustrating.
It's super frustrating, and I don't want to shit on Michael Malone because he's done so much, but at the same time, dude, like you gotta, at the end of the day, it's all
you gotta close out, man. You gotta be able to. If you
production.
got a guy like Jokic, you cannot just like get to the conference finals or just get to the semifinals and that be enough. Yeah. You gotta get a ring.
And I think, unfortunately, and we've spent a lot of time on the Nuggets, and we're sorry, guys, but if you are one of our close friends or one of our relatives, you probably care somewhat about the Nuggets.
I hope so.
The thing is, and this is my biggest thing is Michael Malone, is he loves his guys. Ty Lawson was his guy. who else was this guy? These older dudes. He refuses to play the young guys.
Yep.
And I feel like that's what's killing us. Peyton Watson has been showing up. I think that's going to be a deciding factor. If Peyton Watson isn't guarding Steph Curry, if we have to play Golden State Warriors, then there's some significant issues with coaching.
Yeah, I mean, I like Uncle Jeff. Jeff Green's a great guy. He's got
Mike loves him. Michael Malone
he loves him, but I mean, the dude's nearly 37 or 37? Yeah, okay.
Which sucks because I was talking to Meryl about this. I was like, it sucks when you're watching sports and they're like, this guy's career is done. And you're like, he's the fucking same age
He's
as
the
me,
same age
man.
as me.
Fuck.
In his whole career, you look at him and you consider that old?
Yeah.
It sucks, man. I
He's
know.
done. He's washed up. And you're like, fuck, so am I, man.
It's
I don't
so
even,
sad,
know
man.
why I keep trying.
I've totally been there. I get it.
But yeah, it's just crazy because, yeah, this is the best the Nuggets have ever been, and here we are. Like, if you don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, you got to fire the fucking coach.
Yeah,
you might have to blow up the team. I don't know.
I hope not. I definitely think you try to keep Jokic because he likes it being here. It's nice that he is from Serbia and is one of those international guys that like appreciates the small market because they just took a chance on him. So I think you try to build around him. But yeah, this is it. It's win or bust.
Yeah, and especially not to bring up the MVP again, but the MVP's over. It's Embiid. We know that now. I think Jokic needs to not be worried about the season MVP. He needs to be worried about the finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
That's got to be the MVP he needs to get. So
yeah,
that's where we're at.
Shall we move on?
Let's move on. Let's get into the UFC real quick.
Let's do it.
We'll see where we're at after that. I might just run through the standings in the NHL, but we'll see where we're at after the UFC. So, Chad, take us down your rabbit hole of the UFC 287 fight this week.
I'll try to keep it short, and it's tough because that was one hell of a card. I was very entertained by that whole fight card.
Yeah.
So UFC 287, Israel Adesanya knocking out Alex Pereira to claim his middleweight title once again in a stunning fashion. I believe in the second round, he says he was playing rope-to-dope. And
Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope.
Yeah, called it playing possum and knocked Pereira out where he caught him with the left and then came back around with the right to the temple and left him frozen like Elsa, like Israel said.
Not nearly as bad as Ben Askren. Ben Askren was the most I've ever seen somebody frozen from a knockout.
Oh, I've seen a lot of fighters frozen, but
like when Ben Askren hit the ground, his head didn't even move. It was so locked. He's like
just
and like his
out.
body bounced.
It's like your body goes stiff, it's trying to protect itself.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because you look at Israel Adesanya and his just like total dominance of UFC, and then you get into the thick of it and you start learning about Alex Pereira, and it's just like this guy's been the Israel killer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3-1 now.
Now 3-1, yeah.
Israel had him twice in kickboxing in surprising fashion, might I add. It was the only time I think Israel's been knocked out.
Yeah, so the first one, it came down to decision, and it really should have been Israel that won it. A lot of people thought he was cheated out of that. The second time, he got caught. Pereira knocked him out.
Which we need to talk about because...
Go ahead and get into it.
If you didn't know... I did not know this when it happened. So Israel knocks him out. He does the Alex Pereira celebration, hits him with the 3 arrows, walks over to his corner and points at somebody. I didn't know who he was pointing at the time. And then he hits him with the go to sleep and just fell over. And I was like, what the fuck is that about?
I was wondering the same thing.
And then next thing you know, this I saw like a reel or something. So when Alex Pereira knocked him out in kickboxing in Muay Thai, Alex Pereira's son got up on the canvas basically and mimicked Israel getting knocked out, just fell straight back.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. Israel knocks him out, hits him with his own celebration, just like total fuck you. And then walks over, points at his fucking kid, who's probably 13 years old now.
I'd say so, yeah.
Points at him, and then hits him with your dad just went to fucking sleep.
And then fell over.
Yeah, fell over in front of him. Had no idea about any of that, and I was like, that is cold, dude.
People don't forget.
Ice cold.
Oh, it was awesome, man. I mean, A lot of people, here's the thing, is a lot of people can criticize it and say, oh my God, he did that to a kid. How could he?
Dude, this is the same shit that happened with Angel Reese, dude. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, and here's the thing,
sports,
too.
man.
Well, the big difference, too, this is fighting.
Yeah.
I believe in a guy I work with who has a son that, he's got like an 8-year-old son. He felt the same way. That it's like, I don't even know if those kids should be there. There's always a crazy likelihood where these guys could die in the ring. And for them to bring their kids, I get it if they win, it's a big celebration. But it's a lot to see their parent knocked the fuck out.
You'll see that sometimes too, like where the kid's all upset because like daddy's all bloody and beat up and didn't win. You know,
yeah. So it's like you took the risk of bringing your kid here. Yeah. It's not taking them to a basketball game and them seeing him maybe make a few free throws.
Sprain an ankle at the worst.
At the worst, you know. But yeah, I mean that's just part of it. But man, it was nuts when you see after Israel did that, Alex's son just like kind of hide himself.
And I didn't see that till today when they showed the picture of him and he was like crying.
Oh yeah, he started crying into his mom's, bosom, just like, oh.
And I feel bad because it's a kid, but at the same time, dude, like, hey,
you're the one that did this.
If you're gonna play with fire, you might get burned, and he got burned.
But man, all hats off to Israel for doing that. I predicted wrong. I got to say, last week on the show, I predicted wrong. I really thought Pereira would knock him out. He's got significant power. Wow. Israel really is a champ.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, before like that whole back and forth right before he knocked him out, it looked like it was over for Israel.
Seriously, I mean,
he hits him with that combo, and then just comes with that knee.
Knee. If that knee had fully landed, it could have been the difference maker.
Like that knee, I was like, dude, I don't care if that didn't land, that hurt.
Oh yeah,
and then that was when he came over with that right. Boom! And then the left.
Yeah. He caught him, man. I thought for sure, I was like, this is it. Because he was starting to land some at the end of the first, too. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is it. He's going to do it again. And I guess he was playing possum. Who knows?
That's what he says.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Yeah. It's easy to say that, after the fact. But
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. So, I mean, but regardless, he retains it. I think that Pereira moves up to 205 because
That's what Dana said. He said he needs to be at 205 because it's like we talked about, dude. We saw that picture of him next to that heavyweight. It doesn't look any different. He cuts way too much weight.
Well, in the press conference, I didn't realize this, but I guess in the official weigh-ins, not the ceremonial weigh-ins, he was still 2 pounds overweight before getting on the scale, an hour beforehand. So he had 2 pounds to cut in an hour before the deadline.
That's what people realize, like, dude, cutting a pound, even a pound in an hour. Think about losing a pound in literally 60 minutes.
I can't do that in a week.
These dudes literally fucking sit there in like fucking crazy fucking full body suits, like in like a fucking sauna thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts.
But that's the thing.
Pissing.
You're losing all that power.
Yeah, and I mean,
you're cutting all that weight.
It's such a bullshit.
And
thing.
Israel is a welterweight. Or middleweight. I'm sorry. He is a middleweight. It's like that's where he fights.
Yeah.
And you see Alex, and it's like, dude, you can't cut 20, 30 pounds. Basically, 30 pounds.
He needs, for his health and for the future of his career, he really needs to look into moving up because, and I'm sure that's why Dana mentioned that.
He'll probably be dominant at 205.
If he had missed weight, Dana would have been pissed. And if he goes up to 205, just imagine this, like someone in the MMA Uncensored group that I follow, it's a really good MMA Facebook group to follow. They brought up the likely match. Imagine Yuri Prohaska versus Alex Pereira. Would be a great fight.
For sure.
I mean, even Jamal Hill versus Pereira. I mean, there's so many guys he could go up against.
Would be great.
I would love to see it.
Because it's like total striker versus a grappler guy.
I mean, that's his natural weight. It would be more fair.
I lie. Pereira's not really a grappler, but...
Nah. But, I mean, it would be an awesome fight. There's a lot of good fights at light heavyweight we could see there. So, I mean, I hope it happens. I really do. But regardless, Israel stuns everybody. He was the favorite, to be honest. It's crazy, but... I mean,
yeah, Pereira's was the underdog when the fight kicked off.
Yeah, and it's just, we're looking at...
Rightfully so. Apparently, there's a reason why Vegas keeps getting bigger and better every year.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about. They do. But the co-main event under that was Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. Now, Jorge Masvidal's last fight. He retired after losing in a decision.
Retired.
Yeah, I mean, well, retired from UFC.
I'm gonna hit him with this. Retired.
No, I guarantee you that's probably it.
In UFC. Yeah.
UFC, yeah. I mean, bare knuckle, maybe.
Luke Rockhold's doing a fucking resurgence in bare knuckle.
Yeah,
they're fighting here actually.
Fighting in Denver. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know when it is, but maybe we go just hang out in the park.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with bare knuckle. That's a little too brutal for me. I don't know.
You know the thing is, though, they say that because it's so brutal, because you get so much damage to your face right away, you don't fight as much. Like, they honestly say that the fact that boxing gloves don't like have as much damage, but you're still getting hit with the same force, it's actually more damaging to your brain because you're taking more crazy punches than if you were just like getting beat for one round and your whole face is bloody.
Yeah, I mean, the cuts and everything, that's definitely, not as bad as concussions, but aesthetically, it's still tough to watch. Yeah, I can't really do it, man. I mean, it's weird because if somebody it is kind of weird because like the Gaethje and fucking Fiziev fight a while back. Fiziev, yep.
Great fight. Dude looked like he got beat the fuck to
Looked
death.
like a bare knuckle fight. I could watch that for some reason. It doesn't bother me, but bare knuckle, I don't know. I can't really fuck with it.
It's just like the slap fighting, dude. It's just like so much more like, what the fuck?
Slap fight is just ridiculous. But to get to it, Jorge did get beat. No questions asked. Gilbert Burns dominated the whole fight on the ground and striking. It's nuts because this guy, like I said last week, and I did have that one picked. I got that one right. And I mean, Jorge was a serious underdog. But I mean, I thought at least he might own some of the striking game, but man, Burns' boxing super impressed me.
I think you just saw a guy who was at the end of his,
Yeah. He's not as fast.
He even said, he's like, I don't feel the same in here. It's not how it was back in the day. And it's just like, you saw a guy just get beat down. And that's what I said it wrong, but when I told you, I was like, it was kind of like a lackluster fight, so to speak, just because you expected so much more.
Oh, it's way more of a better fight with both fighters are going at it.
Yeah, and the fastest knockout in UFC history, fucking bare knuckle boxer from the get go with Kimbo Slice. You're expecting a knockdown drag out, and then Gilbert kind of realized, I think, early on that all he had to do was basically kind of wrap him up, take him to the ground. But he did in the first couple rounds strike him.
He outstruck him really well.
But and that's what I want to get to. He realized he could just kind of like, I'm going to take you down a couple times and I'm going to score points and you're fucking done with.
But that's why I love the UFC, because it's not just backyard fighting. There's a lot of guys that think they can do this. Oh, I've been in a bunch of fights in high school. I think I could be a UFC fighter. But you don't realize, like, I need to have wrestling skills. I need to have jiu-jitsu skills. I might even need to have judo skills. And then I got to have boxing skills, not just like throwing hands in a street. There's so much to mixed martial arts. Like, that's why Gilbert Burns is so good. And I mean, like I said, he comes from the Black Zillions. I mean, having Vito Belfort, as your trainer, that says a lot right there.
Well, it's like I said, that dude looked like a fucking pit bull before the fight. I was like, that guy looks like he's going to win.
He also looked like the Brazilian Uncle Fester, too, with that afro. Like, that to me was cracking me the fuck up. I'm like, dude, you need to shave your head.
He did have a goofy afro.
You looked fucking goofy as shit.
Afro.
But to each their own. I got goofy ass hair. I can't talk shit, so it is what it is. But I mean, I am a big Gilbert fan. He does a lot for the community. Does a lot for just like good causes and stuff like that. And that's way different than Jorge. So I'm a big fan of his. The last fight I want to get to is
Fight of the Night.
Fight of the Night. Kevin Gastelum. Dude, how about? It's been 20 months since Kevin Gastelum had fought. And I keep saying, I think is it Kevin or Kelvin?
It's Kelvin.
Yeah, it is Kelvin. I always fuck that up, like the temperature. Yeah. So, man, I had that one picked wrong. And the dude he was fighting, dude, I just really thought, like, I kind of thought he won it. But for the effort given to it, you got to give it to Kelvin. I mean, man, he was just leaving. That is why I love UFC. These guys were just leaving it all in the octagon, throwing hands. If they get knocked the fuck out, it is what it is. But, I mean, man, those guys were giving it all.
Yeah, I mean, you watch a couple of times where it's just like these, they're like so exhausted, just like, it's like, this is wild, dude. Like, you're just watching these just fucking spin it all out there.
It reminded me of when I was a teenager watching Rocky Balboa. It's like, just like a movie, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. They just both were taking punishment and still standing in there fighting like in a phone booth, man. I was super impressed with that fight.
And the cool thing is that's one of the prelim fights, and that's the
Yep.
thing that's great about the UFC. I mean, some of these prelim fights are better than the fucking main event
swear.
shit, dude.
Yep.
It happens more often than not. I feel like every week, whether it's a fight night, whether it's a UFC 2, whatever the fuck we're on, 288, 287. The prelims are where it's at. It's kind of like. And this is what we ran into, especially like with the Nuggets. Not to digress onto the Nuggets too much, but you get these teams at the end of the year that are like, they've already shut everybody down, and they've got like these G Leaguers there that are trying to prove a point, whether it's for this team or to like get picked up somewhere else. You just find it with these guys that are like, we're gonna put it all out on the fucking line, and that was the great thing about the prelims is like these guys aren't your marquee. It's not Israel Adesanya. It's not. Pereira, it's not all these guys that are like everybody wants to watch. It's these dudes that are just struggling to be like, I'm trying to make a fucking name for myself.
They want that bonus, man. They just want that bonus, and I love it.
They got that damn bonus. That was one of the best fights I've seen in a while.
It was fantastic, dude. I love when these guys realize.
To the Gaethje fight. That Gaethje fight was probably the best fight I've seen.
I mean, seriously, which Gaethje fight? Every one of them is entertaining as fuck. I'd say if I could just real quick give like a off the top of my head, because this one's, since that's the last fight we're covering, I did want to talk about this upcoming fight night, which is great because with the UFC, it's just every single week, it's almost like a great event.
That's the nice thing about it. I like the fact that they made fight nights free, dude. If you had to, it's like we're talking
if you got
fucking
ESPN
YouTube,
Plus,
man. Well,
$5.99.
We all know, $6 to watch a fucking UFC fight. It's pretty.
I'll take it,
cheap
and it lasts for like 6 hours. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So my probably top 5 favorite fighters. Probably number 1, Justin Gaethje. Number 2, so it's so tough to decide. Rose Namajunas. Number 3, I shouldn't have done this on the fly, but anyway, that's just
it happens. There's so many good fucking fighters.
Corey Sandhagen,
Yeah.
Corey Sandhagen from Aurora, Colorado. I'm a real homer.
Like a Patty Pimlet.
I don't
Patty
really
the
like
Patty.
him.
You don't
I don't.
like
I don't
Patty?
like, dude. He's all mouth. I don't like.
He
what
fucks people up though. It's
he
like Connor.
does,
Eventually,
but he got his ass whooped in that last fight. Yeah.
Joe, everybody's pissed about that.
And then this is what I want to get to is Max Holloway. This dude is so chill, man. That's just it. There's a lot of fighters where I'm not sure. Like, I like what they do in the octagon, but I'm not sure I like him as a person. But Max Holloway seems like I could go to Hawaii and have a beer with this dude, and he would be so cool. Talk about gaming. He's admitted where he doesn't really watch even much other fights other than his own. He just likes to game all the time and get on Twitch. This guy is so cool. And he fights this weekend against Arnold Allen on a UFC fight night. I believe it starts 6:30 Mountain Time, so 8:30 Eastern Time.
Thank God, a regular starting fucking time.
Well, it's
early
a
ones
little
suck.
early. No, this one's a little earlier. So the main card starts at 6:30 instead
but
of
yeah,
8.
it's not like where the main card starts at like fucking 3 in the afternoon.
No, not those. Yeah,
that shit sucks.
I know, it does kind of suck sometimes, but man, Max Holloway is to me the best boxer in the UFC. If you've never watched his fight against Yair Rodriguez, he puts on a clinic. His fight against Brian Ortega, he puts on a clinic. He is the best boxer in the UFC.
Yeah.
Watch it this weekend. Max Holloway, super entertaining fighter.
Yeah, Max Holloway's super good. There's another guy that popped up. I think this actually just went to the UFC Hall of Fame not too long ago. It was Diego Sanchez versus
I know who you're talking about.
fuck, he looks like a caveman dude with long hair.
Clay Guida.
Yeah,
that was
Clay
awesome.
Guida.
He fights this weekend.
Yes,
he fights.
He does?
Yep,
Oh,
he
dude.
fights this weekend.
That fight was so rad because they just like both
Oh.
hit each other, and it was just like boom, 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 boom.
So it's rock'em sock'em robots. What that is,
Yeah.
man. It's nuts. They just lay it all out there.
Great fucking fight. So
And
yeah,
then-
if Guida's fighting it, or however you say it, dude, fucking,
I
can't
think
wait for
he's
that fight.
tied for the most fights in the UFC because it's crazy. When I first started watching
You said
UFC,
fart. I just want to mention that.
I
You
just
said fart.
for when I first started
When I
farting
searched
in
fart-
the UFC.
Yeah.
Clay Guida was a young dude with crazy mane hair. He's also really famous because when he first goes in there, I think he has his woman do it, I believe, where she slaps. I know
It's his brother.
It's his brother.
It's his brother.
What I'm thinking of is there was a chick one time that was behind him watching it. She was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Because
and
his
he
brother
slaps the shit out of him to get him prepared for this whole thing. And yeah, it was nuts, man. Like he's been fighting for a while. And then also another good fight on this weekend is Edson Barboza. An awesome fight. The cap fell off the whiskey.
Did you hit it, or did it just
I just
fly?
tapped the table. That's what knocked it off. It was barely on there.
Oh, and like those corks shoot right out of there. That's
Just
pretty
look
wild.
up
I got
Edson
scared for a
Barboza.
second. We got a ghost. It's ghost.
Yeah, look up Barboza highlights. I mean, this guy's fighting this weekend. You're definitely bound to get a good fight from him. So another good fight night. Another good UFC.
I love the fight nights, man. I mean, I'm not gonna pay for. I mean, I'll watch UFC by any means necessary, but I ain't gonna pay $79 to watch fucking the UFC. I hate to say
It's
it.
not worth
It's
it, man.
nuts,
I
dude.
don't like that shit.
Especially every other fucking week or every other 2 weeks.
It's pretty much
what the
every
fuck are
3
you gonna
weeks they
do?
got a pay-per-view going
Yeah,
on right now.
It's fucking crazy.
So, yeah, check it out this weekend.
Yeah, so that's going to wrap up the UFC 287 review and the Fight Night preview. Real quick, let me see where we're at on time. So we're going to hit the DDOE next right now.
You want to do the Rec Center first, though?
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Cool.
Shit, we're changing things on the fly. Let's do the Rec Center real quick. You start.
I'm going to recommend a band, actually, this time. I'm going to recommend some music. I started getting into these guys, and it's really not anything new. They've been around for about 20 years. But Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Great name.
Yeah. They
just invokes
I guess
a picture right away.
Best way to describe these guys, they almost like garage rock, stoner metal in a
Kind of
sense.
psyche almost.
Yeah,
Psych rock.
yeah, I dig them a lot. Just I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and when I kind of want to phase into that rock genre, these guys are what I've been dipping into.
Nice. Do you have an album or anything that you would recommend, or is it just check them out? Hit the top 5 songs on Spotify.
You could do that. There is, it's like "Hate Tears," I think, is a good song for theirs. "Red Eyes and Tears." Check that song out. That's a really good one.
Red Eyes and Tears. Okay.
Yep.
Check out Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. My rec center this week is actually going to be Ryan Sickler's comedy special, which is free on YouTube, which means you don't have to fucking pay for it. You might have to watch some really extremely oddly placed ads that just abruptly happen in the middle of a joke, which kind of sucks. But if you pay for YouTube, you don't have to watch those ads. But it's Lefty's Son is the name of the special. It's Ryan Sickler's new special. This was all filmed before he literally almost died.
Yeah.
Within since the beginning of the year. So it's a great special. Super funny. I laughed quite a bit.
It's good. I watched it on the weekend too.
Yeah.
His bit about his daughter, I'm not going to say any more than that. It was fucking awesome.
We will get shut down if we talked about that. But it was super funny. Ryan Sickler's just a fucking great dude. We've talked about him before. The Honeydew podcast, if you haven't checked it out, it is a great fucking podcast which deals with tons of mental health, crazy things that people deal with. It's basically highlighting the lowlights of comedians and famous people that kind of shape them into who they are. And he also has a Patreon, The Honeydew with Y'all, which basically just focuses on normal people and all the crazy shit they deal with. And he honestly says that is way more wild than anything that's been on the actual
Everyday
Honeydew
people
podcast.
sometimes have better stories.
So if you haven't yet, please go check out Ryan Sickler. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. You get caught up on all of his stuff that he posts. You can watch a special for free, like I said, Lefty's Son. It's available now. It's been available since April 5th. Free to watch. And if you haven't yet, please go check out the Honeydew podcast. It's a great podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts.
He's a really good interviewer.
He's extremely good at interviewing, and just also the shit you hear with these people that are comedians or famous people to some degree makes you just realize oh shit, we're all going through some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of how you deal with it that makes the outcome what it is. So this show is really good at helping you with that. I mean, the podcast is really good at helping you with that. But go check out his new special, Lefty's Son. Again, it's free on YouTube. It's not any other streaming service other than YouTube. All the money goes directly to him. So share, subscribe, and follow to Ryan Sickler. Check out his great new special. And we are about to get into the DDOE, so we're going to take a quick break. You are about to hear John Daly. He's about to hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man.
It is the final time that we are back of episode 30 of Fringe Fanatics. We just heard John Daly as he hit it hard, man, as he always does. So we are at the Daily Dose of Excellence. Chad Lee is going to take this one as he found this story. And it's not your average sports story, if a sports story at all. Is that correct, Chick?
It is not. It's pretty cool because it involves science. I love science. And especially when young people are pioneering that field now. When a 17-year-old wins the $150,000 in science talent search for a remarkable way to diagnose pediatric disease, which that's a pretty big deal.
What is it? Just any disease, or is it a specific disease?
So it says here, in the oldest and most prestigious young adult science competition in the nation, 17-year-old Ellen Shu used a kind of AI to design the first diagnosis test for a rare disease that struck her sister years ago. Oh, wow, so it hit close to home.
Oh, okay.
Yep. With the personal story driving her on, she managed an 85% rate of positive diagnosis with only a smartphone image, winning her $150,000 for third place finish. That's pretty cool.
I still want to know what the disease is that her sister had.
It's actually called Kawasaki disease. I know, like the dirt bike.
Kawasaki Ninjas rule. Kawasaki Ninjas drool. I don't think that's how it actually goes, but
probably not.
No, we shouldn't make fun of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking crazy, dude. So
Yeah.
she is how old? 17.
17 years old.
And she literally just found a way to
with AI.
Yeah.
Yep. Currently, Kawasaki disease has no existing test method and relies on a physician's years of training and ability to do research and a bit of luck.
You just have
so pretty much
I
it's
think
like
you might have Kawasaki
maybe you have
disease.
this. It's almost like Lyme disease. I don't know if you know anybody with that, but like most
Meryl's
people,
mom might have Lyme disease.
Oh,
and,
that's
they
not
don't know.
good.
It might actually be lupus or Lyme disease because they don't know what
they
the
don't
fuck it is.
No, man.
Yeah.
So many years. Like I've got good friends that they go through grueling years of pain and suffering, and it took them like 5 or 6 years to even get diagnosed. So for something like this, which is even in children, pediatrics, like that's a pretty big deal. So I just want to, step out of the whole
tip
wheelhouse
the old hat,
of
if you
sports
will.
and get into, any type of health.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing about the Daily Dose of Excellence. It doesn't have to be necessarily sports related for it to be a daily dose of excellence. I mean, it could be
Not at all.
anything really. We do try and keep it somewhat sports related just because, it's on brand. But at the same time, like shit like this, to me, is more important than anything that could happen in sports.
Exactly.
It's a Daily Dose of Excellence.
Saving lives out
This girl
there.
might have
It's
found
amazing.
a way to save a bunch of children's lives, or at least help them have a happier, more healthy life just by being able to catch this thing way early on. So
Exactly.
that's fucking crazy. It makes you feel like, what have we done to this point?
I know. Every time I read these stories, that's what I think of. And that's what's kind of fun is like, we rely on these super smart people to help save lives so that, jocks like us that can keep talking about, or fringe fanatics, quote unquote, can keep talking about sports and being, silly like we are. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's, we can highlight these people who aren't normally being highlighted to a group of people who might not normally have seen it because all they care about sports, just goes to show that we're doing a little bit of good here.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
Well, hats off to you, Ellen, and thank you.
Yeah, Ellen Shu, we appreciate you for doing way more than we've done with our lives to this point at the age of 17. So
Yeah,
on
congrats
that note,
to you.
we're going to do something you can't do for another 4 years, and we're going to take a shot of alcohol in honor of you. And I just want to also do this shot to everybody who has been listening or watching, or anybody who has interacted, liked, or shared any of our stuff. And again, if you're watching or listening now, please like or subscribe to us on whatever you're listening or watching to us on. It helps so much. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Chad Lee, I love you, buddy.
Chris Ray, love you
Yours
too.
too.
It's been fun.
Another 30 episodes.
When we come back, guys, we're going to give you a little update on how the Nuggets did in the playoffs.
Yes, so we'll be back. The playoffs will have started, and things are going to be on the move, and the NHL playoffs will have been on the way as well.
That's true.
So.
To give you a little update, looks like Atlanta has moved on, and
Yep.
they beat Miami tonight.
Beat Miami 116-103. cheers to them for being the first play-in team to win. So,
Yep.
cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Appreciate you.
Episode 30, man.
30, man. We did it. Also, guys, bear with me. I'm over here trying to produce a show. Don't know what I'm doing. So, every once in a while, I might go to be your Chad for no reason.
It's all good.
It happens. We're learning. It's getting better, though. So we appreciate you guys for sticking around as we grow, and we look forward to growing even more so with you guys all around. So thank you, guys. This is Fringe Fanatics. We will see you next week. Have an awesome week.
Farewell.
Toodles.